want to take you to America's second largest state, Texas, and in the front line in America for the debate over vaccination. Through the power of persistence, one rural county has convinced nearly every single person there to get a shot, while in another Lone Star State county, it's a far different story. Our Will Carr has this tale of two counties.
As the debate to get vaccinated wages on across the country, there's a part of South Texas where the wind is strong. The horses graze calmly on the farms, and the sunsets sprawl across the border. As Lone Star counties go, this rugged, remote area lacks cell phone service in spots, and GPSs tend to run out of directions. But when it comes to human interaction, communication has never been stronger. This is Presidio County, home to Texas's highest vaccination rate. Nearly every eligible resident, just over 7,800, has been fully vaccinated. That's 98% of the county, including Rosendo Scott, a Vietnam vet who's battling ALS.
What was your level of trust with what your healthcare providers were telling you about getting the vaccine?
Oh, it was very high. I'm a believer in science.
Presidio County, home to Marfa, a community of artists, runs blue. Residents voted for Democrats in all of the recent presidential elections, but it's not 98% blue, not even close. In fact, when it comes to health, residents don't see colors, only distance. Many live hours from the closest hospital. That in and of itself has been a key reason why they've been so eager to roll up their sleeves.
We're so isolated that we could easily just fall like dominoes if something wasn't done.
Scott's wife, Allison, is his chief caretaker. She's also the high school principal.
We've not had any COVID cases since school started, and that's in our pre-K through 12th grade.
And what do you attribute that to?
I think the high vaccination rate.
What the COVID pandemic has done is rural healthcare organizations, they're like small football teams. We have very few, if anybody, on the bench to pull for relief. We had to shut down our medical and dental service lines and our behavioral health service lines on these days that we just, did 500 or 600 vaccines at a time because we didn't have the people to pull off the bench.
According to Dr. Adrian Billings, it's taken painstaking persistence to get shots into arms.
This one lone hospital serves this vast 12,000 square mile area that has about 25,000 residents living in this area. It's a 90 to 150 mile one-way trip to get to the emergency room. So I think some of that, just recognizing how limited we are for health care, contributed to our high vaccination rates.
More than 620 miles away in Lamar County, on the other side of Texas, it's a different story. Only 40% of residents here are fully vaccinated, among the lowest in the state. The county seat is Paris, Texas, home to an Eiffel Tower with a cowboy flair and a small-town newspaper that keeps a finger on the pulse of public sentiment. We stopped by to talk to managing editor Clark Bird.
Why do you think so many people here are hesitant to get vaccinated?
A lot of it has to do with distrust. There's distrust in the government, distrust in the vaccine makers, distrust based on misinformation that's found on social media sites.
Bird has been printing op-eds urging residents to talk to their doctors, but due to a pre-existing health condition, Bird tells us he has not been vaccinated due to his doctor's advice.
I've taken a back seat on the vaccine, and I continue to mask up, hand sanitize. I take all the precautions that were advised prior to the vaccination being available. Sometimes I'm the only one with a mask, and that's concerning, but I maintain my distance with people. If I turn down an aisle at Walmart and there's a bunch of people, I will avoid that aisle and wait until it clears out.
Casey Cole is in this community and is one of many who has decided not to get a shot.
Do you know anybody who's been severely sick or died around here?
I do know a few people who have been sick. My wife has actually been one of them who actually caught it, and she is not vaccinated.
Did that give you pause at all, or?
It did not. We prayed about it, and we firmly believe that a lot of faith goes involved in a lot of things we do.
I have these spurts of just, but they're my neighbors, so we try to have grace and do the best we can and keep educating and keep them healthy.
Dr. Amanda Green is the Lamar County Health Director and the local hospital's Chief Medical Officer.
There are some people that I think they'll just never change no matter what.
From Dr. Green's perspective, that can be a fatal choice. She points to Ronnie Stanley, the husband of a local nurse who chose not to get vaccinated. He wound up in the ICU and died at the end of September.
No one is invincible to this disease. It doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate.
Amanda Stanley documented on social media her husband's battle with COVID.
You don't have to die. Your story doesn't have to end like ours. Ronnie and I were married just 11 months ago, and I'm having to deal with him not being here. I'm going to visit his gravesite on our anniversary, and that's not anything that we had planned. That's not anything that any newlywed should have to endure.
A harrowing account hoping to bring winds of change to this North Texas county.
And I've had people that, have been totally against it that have reached out and said, because you told your story and because it's hit home to so many, that yes, they are getting vaccinated. And that's my hope, that we continue to save another person.
In the same state, but in many ways a world away, back in Presidio County, Dr. Billings says he hasn't seen a single vaccinated patient wind up in the hospital in recent memory.
I think, it's about trust. It's about building that relationship with your patients and with your communities.
In Texas, Will Carr, ABC News.
Our thanks to Will for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.